Theater and art often reflect our history. In Lincolnton, one man is putting on quite a show himself, recreating history with almost an artist's vision. He's linking the present to the past, honoring the legacy of some of Charlotte's most famous families. Ever driven down Brevard or Graham Streets in Charlotte? Well, the families that bear those names are buried in an area cemetery where a special project aims to pay tribute to the iron ore business that built their wealth. Producer Doug Stacker tells us more.
I like knowing I'm leaving a legacy.
It's almost as if you can step back into time.
I just keep adding to it, one link at a time.
It does link people to the past. This place is important, which Macpila Presbyterian Church and the cemetery, which started out as a family burying ground in 1801. My name is Jason Harp. I'm the Executive Director of the Lincoln County Historical Association in Lincoln County. I became involved with conservation work, addressing some issues with the gravestones and monuments in the cemetery. One of the larger areas of the cemetery is the Brevard family plot, and this family plot is denoted by these marble piers between which there was chain.
It's a pretty big project for me. It's 160 feet of chain. My name's Scott Bean. I'm a professional blacksmith. I'm not too big on doing piecework. I don't like the repetition. That's why I do like doing custom work, because you get to vary and do different things. But in a case like this, it's just something you have to do. When I first started this, I timed it just to see. I did about 3 feet in an hour. Some days I'm a little slower, some days I can be a little faster. It's just kind of the way I am. I had a piece of the original chain, thank goodness, like I say, I had that to go by. It was probably put in the 1870s. It could have varied a little bit, but I tried to get it as close as possible. 3/16 round stop, and just bend it into a U shape and bend the ends and forge weld it, and put a quarter twist in it and just keep adding to it. These tools that I'm using, the anvil we were using was made in 1890, the blower and the forge around 1870s. So yeah, we're using the same tools and methods.
Lincoln County was the hotbed of iron production in the late 18th and early 19th century in North Carolina. A lot of that had to do with the natural resources that we had in the area. One of the main components that was involved or necessary for iron production was iron ore, which was dug in an area we know as the Big Ore Bank. Buried in the cemetery at Macpila, you have members of the Graham family, the Brevard family. Both of those families were involved in the iron industry and leaders in the iron industry, and this location was equidistant from the Graham property where Vesuvius Furnace was located, and on that property you not only had the furnace itself and the furnace operation, but the house that carries the name Vesuvius as well, and the Brevard property that was known as Mount Tirzah, named after the Mount Tirzah Forge. So I think what you find with that Brevard family plot is it does link people to the past. It connects the work that Scott's doing to the iron industry and blacksmithing that would have been a very active profession during the 19th century here in Lincoln County.
We know they use lead to keep the chains in place.
It's just kind of neat to be able to tie yourself into something that was done 150 years ago. Yeah, I like knowing I'm leaving a legacy of some sort, you know, not so much as my name, but if we can get another 100 years of this craft to carry on, it just means we're hanging on to our heritage. I like knowing that I've got a hand in passing this art on.
Thanks so much, Doug. It's great to see jobs from the past still surviving and thriving today.